What's up, Titans? Welcome back to Titan Sports, bringing you the best coverage of Cal State Fullerton athletics. I'm Rita LeBeau.
And I'm Nathan McHugh.
Nathan, are you ready for March Madness?
I am. I'm very ready, and I think the team is gearing towards that. The men's basketball team is. Hopefully they can get back to the NCAA tournament like they did last year.
One can only hope, right? Let's take a look with what's been going on with Fullerton athletics.
With only 5 games left in the season, the men's basketball team continued to battle for a higher seed in the Big West Conference standings. Thursday night, they hosted a hot UC Davis team who came in on a 5-game winning streak. So let's get to Titan Gym, where Fullerton was going for their 4th win in a row. The Aggies kept it close throughout the game. Stephon Gonzalez hits the floater for 2 of his 10 points on the night. But the Titans would respond. Austin Awishika drives inside, gets fouled on the floater, makes the shot, and won. 9 of Austin Awishika's 11 points were in the first half. Here in the second half, Fullerton down by 2. Khalil Ahmad drains the 3, putting the Titans up 41-40. Later on in the half, Ahmad steals the pass, goes to the basket, and throws down the jam. And the Titans win the game 62-58.
Women's basketball entered their game against UC Santa Barbara on a 6-game losing streak and stood at 3-7 in the Big West Conference play. Let's take a look at the highlights. Cal State Fullerton's women's basketball hosted UC Santa Barbara in search of erasing their 6-game losing streak. First quarter, Titans down by 1. Megan Orminston finishes with a layup to give the Gauchos a 3-point lead. On the next play, the Titans respond with a 3-ball from Madison Freeman to make it even. That would be Freeman's only points in the game. Final 2 minutes of the first quarter, Titans down by 2. Reina Perez hits a corner 3 to give the Fullerton the lead by 2. Second quarter, Titans down by 6. Tal Shahar gets the offense rebound and flicks the ball in and gives the Gauchos an 8-point lead. 5 seconds left before the half. Jada Vega with the assist to Carolyn Gill, who beats the clock, cuts Fullerton's deficit to 3 points, heading into the locker room. 5 minutes into the third quarter, Santa Barbara on a 13-7 run. Natalia Broying fights to score and stretches the lead to 11 points. Fullerton on a 6-1 tries to cut the deficit to 4. Hannah Thompson hits both free throws, and the Titans are back in the game. Deja Smith gets a lucky bounce and scores, erasing the Titans' 11-point deficit to finish the third quarter. Fourth quarter, Titans down by 1. Thompson hits her only 3-pointer to give the Titans the lead. 1 minute left in the game, no communication on defense, and Carolyn Gill finishes to close out the game with 6 points. The Titans are back on the winning column, winning by the final score of 74-62.
Softball took part in the Mary Nutter Classic in Cathedral City, California. The Titans split the 2 games they played Saturday, losing to Washington 1-0 and defeating Bethune-Cookman 4-0. On Sunday, Cal State Fullerton wasn't as successful, losing to the University of Oklahoma 9-1 in 5 innings, and to the Cal Bears 2-1. The Titans went 1-3 in the Mary Nutter Classic and have a current record of 9-6.
The Titans, ranked 25th in the nation by the NCAA, took part in the Tony Gwynn Legacy this past weekend in San Diego. Friday, they played Missouri State and came out on top 7-0. Tanner Bybee threw a gem in his second start of the season, going 7 innings while giving up only 4 hits and striking out 8. On Saturday, the Titans took on Fresno State and lost the game by a score of 5-2. The Titans had a prime chance to get the lead in the 9th, trailing by 3 when they loaded the bases with no outs, and the Titans would go down swinging with at least 3 batters, all striking out to the end of the game. Sunday, the Titans closed out the legacy against Oklahoma. This was a close game throughout, and at one point, the Titans scored 7 unanswered runs, but the Sooners wouldn't go down without a fight, pulling within a run in the 5th to make the score 7-6. But that's as close as they were going to get, as the Titans handed them their first loss of the season by 8-6. The Titans improved to 4-5 on the season's closing out the Tony Gwynn Legacy with a 2-1 record.
Now let's pitch it over to Brandy and Chloe with the baseball preview with On the Mound.
Thanks, guys. Welcome to the first take of On the Mound. I'm your new host, Chloe Abbott. Here with me, I have my analyst, Brandy Flores.
How are you doing today, Chloe?
I'm well. Thanks for coming on the show.
You know, standing out here right outside Goodwin Field, it is a beautiful day to talk about some baseball and softball.
So nice. Thank goodness. I'm so tired of the cold, the rain. Super upset the Washington game was canceled. What a bummer. Was so looking forward to the super rematch.
Oh, yeah, that would have been awesome. I was going to cover that, so I was really disappointed that they didn't put tarps over when they were gone over the weekend for the MLB tournament, apparently, right?
Huge bummer. Let's dive right into the 2019 season. Let's talk about this year's squad. But I really want to focus on the loss of our pitching staff in Colton Eastman, Tommy Wilson, Andrew Quezada. What do you think about that?
Yeah, not to mention also star closer Brett Conine. I think that it is a really heavy hit on the Titans pitching staff this year, and Fullerton's always been known to have really good pitching staff, so I think that with the new additions of the freshmen and Tanner Bybee, who's killing it right now in this preseason so far, I think the Titans are going to be all right. Fullerton does have a strong pitching staff coaching-wise, so I think they're going to be okay. One thing that the Titans have always struggled with, though, is leaving players on base and hitting. We did also lose big, heavy hitter Ruben Cardenas. He got drafted to the
the Indians.
Yeah, to the Indian organization. So I think that with these new freshmen sophomores coming in, they've really proven a lot so far.
Definitely. Tanner Bybee has definitely shown his worth this season, especially shutting out number 19 TCU and shutting out Missouri State, who made it to regionals last year.
Yeah.
He's shut out Missouri with 8 strikeouts. I think we're really going to be able to rely on him as our main ace. Speaking of our freshmen, offensively, they are coming out really strong and proving themselves. Let's talk about Jackson Lyon and Jason Brando.
Well, I mean, Jason Brando hit a grand slam against number 1 in the nation, Vanderbilt. That was a huge wake-up call to say, hey, I'm here and I'm ready to play. I think with additions like him and Jackson Lyon, and I believe Jackson Lyon is hitting right now 286, which is really good for a starting freshman. I think that Fullerton finally has several heavy hitters. Always been good at small ball. They're still doing that, but now that they can get those hits when we need them, it's going to make a big difference in our games, and that's why we've been so successful so far with the new squad.
Definitely. From what we've seen so far with the MLB4 collegiate tournament and also the Tony Gwynn Classic, where do you see us standing in the Big West?
Oh, well, definitely. They were also projected to be number 1 in the Big West, and that's very obvious. The biggest thing that the Fullerton baseball team is going to have to tackle is playing against those teams once we get to regionals, super regionals, and getting to Omaha. I think their capabilities so far, it is a little early. I do think they do have a lot of potential to definitely make it to Omaha, but they need to tighten things up a little bit more.
Absolutely. I don't see the Big West being a problem at all. Cal Poly came in second, and we swept them. So I'm not concerned about the Big West Conference, but I think we will do extremely well in regionals, super regionals. I think we have a shot at Omaha. But yeah, you're right. It is early to tell, but I think we show a lot of promise beating TCU, Missouri, Virginia. Vanderbilt, we didn't do terrible, and they're number 1.
I think so. And towards the end, when they scored those 5 runs, I think that shows a lot, like that they still have that fight. Fullerton's always have that fight. They never go down without a fight. There's been countless games where they've been tied in the 9th inning going into
regionals, Washington.
Yeah.
Yep.
So they definitely have the promise, but what's also that they're going to be lacking is definitely because they don't have those veteran players or as many veteran players. That's why I think Tanner Bybee and guys like Sahid Valenzuela, Hank LaFort,
and Mitchell Berryhill.
Yeah.
Definitely those guys. I see Jake Pav as a major leader on this team. He's been to Omaha twice. This is his 5th year. And second off with Hank LaFort and Sahid. Sahid started all 61 games last year. So definitely going to be able to rely on them.
And Sahid was also a 2018 Cape Cod All-Star.
Yep.
He's always been doing very well. He kind of speaks with the way he plays. That's how he's led on the team. But now I think those guys are going to have to step it up because the seniors who would have been seniors are now on to the big leagues.
Let's move on to softball, where they are 9-4 this season. They have 4 walk-off wins, 13 home runs, 66 strikeouts overall for the pitching staff. What can we say about this team so far?
I mean, stats don't lie. The team's doing I think they're going to do very well this year, like they did last year as well. There's just a really good coaching staff behind Coach Kelly Ford. I think the way she motivates the girls to succeed and kind of has the team together, I think they're going to do very well. Also, you mentioned 13 home runs, and we're not
13 home runs
even
in 13
not
games.
even close to conference
No.
yet, honestly. So I think that they are definitely getting better with the bats, although they are still only hitting 243. They've only lost the four games, but in those 4 games, you can kind of notice that there's only the few girls that would be hitting if it wasn't the whole team. Deja Hill, Ari Williams, those are the big heavy hitters, and they really need to come out this year. And they've proven that so far. I mean, Deja Hill, she's like the epitome of calm, cool, collected. I'm going to focus on hitting this ball, and that's it. So I think having that tone is going to be very, very helpful for the Titans because, I mean, it could get very hectic when you're down by 2. We got runners on.
But like I said, 4 walk-off wins is a lot
Yeah.
for 13 games, and they seem to have a fire in them, and hitting is contagious. So once one gets started, the rest get started, and it's just they know how to fight, and it shows that they're clutch.
I agree. One thing that they do definitely need to work on is that it seems like as if on the field wise, if kind of people are making errors or more than a couple errors happen, the whole team kind of crumbles. That's natural, I think.
It's natural, but errors are extremely costly, and you can't afford them. Not in this game.
Definitely. So I think they should boost up morale, just make sure they're all still together. They are still very young, but because they have that year under their belt now, a lot of the players that we had last year are now sophomores. When they get to that next level after conference, making it to playoffs in the NCAA tournament, I think they're going to succeed because there's no doubt in my mind that they will be taking first in the Big West Conference.
I totally agree. Second place was Long Beach, and right now they are 6-7. UCR came in third, and right now they have a losing record, and I think it might be 4-9. I'm not totally sure on that, but it's just not looking good for those teams. So I don't see softball either having a problem in the Big West taking it.
Yeah.
It's just definitely getting past those Midwest teams. Oklahoma, Arkansas, those are where the Titans fall.
And I think Coach Kelly Ford said the other day at their big loss that one thing that it is good to lose really big this early. I agree with that statement because you want to be making the mistakes early. Yes, that's true. Preferably no mistakes, but it's good to see what you're vulnerable to and then what you need to kind of adjust as you get into conference and playing those harder teams.
It just shows where you need to patch up the holes. It's not a big deal. That's why it's preseason, because you're figuring out where things need to be fixed, what changes need to be made. And again, that's why it's preseason.
Yeah, and then they're playing a lot of games. Softball's always been heavy with the tournaments. They have they're another tournament that they're going to be hosting here at their home stadium. I think that's going to be very beneficial for them, not having to travel as much.
Definitely. That's all we have for you with On the Mound today. I'm your host, Chloe Abbott. Let's move on to In Case You Missed It.
Thank you guys. What's up, Titans? I'm Ashley Antolin, and if you couldn't keep up with Titan Athletics last week, I got you covered in case you missed it. Starting things off with men's basketball, the boys were on the road Saturday the 23rd. They fell to UC Santa Barbara by the score of 82-67, snapping the team's 4-game winning streak. Moving over to the ladies, they played on Saturday the 23rd away at Cal Poly. They couldn't continue the momentum from Thursday's win and lost with a final score of 69-58. The men's golf team was in Palm Desert this past weekend, taking part in the Wyoming Desert Intercollegiate Tournament. The Titans finished tied for 9th place, going 24 over par, 888. Taking it outside with women's tennis, the Loyola Marymount match started a bit rough for the Titans as the Lions were able to break out strong with 2 set wins. The weather took a wild turn just a bit into the match, and the remainder of the match was postponed. The new dates have not been released yet. The indoor track and field team were at the 2019 Mountain Pacific Sports Federation Championship this weekend and kicked off Friday the 23rd, breaking a school record in the distance medley relay. The championships continued on Saturday, and the Titans did not hesitate to continue breaking records. Samantha Huerta and Trinity Ruelas both broke school records in the mile and 3K respectively. Want the upcoming latest games for the Titan Athletics? We send it over to this week's Titan Timeline.
Thanks, Ashling. I'm Jaisha Morrison, and this is Titan Timeline. Now let's take a look at what's coming up for the next week. Pitching it onto the diamond, baseball season is here. The Titans baseball team will play here at Fullerton's very own home base against Stanford from March 1st to the 3rd. Passing it over to men's basketball, the team will be playing against Cal Poly on Thursday, the 28th, in Titan Gym. You can catch the game on ESPN 3, but I think you'd much rather want to be there because it's also Fan Appreciation Day. After that, the men's team is on the road again to play UC Davis Saturday, March 2nd. Bouncing over to women's basketball, who will be playing against UC Irvine on Wednesday at Titan Gym. The fans will be recognized once again for Fan Appreciation Night. Then let's say aloha as the team travels to Hawaii to play on Saturday, March 2nd. Next, it's time to get fired up for these upcoming tennis matches because the ball is in Fullerton's court. The women's tennis team will face off against Azusa Pacific on Wednesday. Moving forward, the team will serve up some points against Long Beach State on March 2nd. On to softball. You know us Titans are all about the bass, no trouble. This weekend is no exception. The Titans will be hosting the Judy Garman Classic. Fullerton will open the tournament with Oregon on the first day, followed by UConn on day 2, and then Texas San Antonio on day 3. They will finish the Classic with a doubleheader against Washington and New Mexico. Swinging it over to men's golf, the team will compete in the Sacramento State Invitational on March 4th and 5th. I'm sure it'll be a weekend you won't forget. Well, it was a race to the finish, but we're here with our final update for the week. Titans, are you ready? Are you set? Because track season is officially here. The team will have their first meet at the RCC Invitational on Friday, March 1st. Well, that's the latest on these week's games, and I hope your calendars are full now. Nathan and Rita, back to you at the desk.
Well, folks, that's all we have for today. Thank you for tuning in for today's episode.
You can watch our past episodes and game packages on our YouTube channel. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe.
And don't forget to follow us on Instagram and Twitter at CSUF Titan Sports. And like us on Facebook to stay connected with us.
On behalf of the Titan Sports, I'm Rita LeBeau.
And I'm Nathan McHugh. Be sure to keep those tusks up, Titans, and see you guys next time.